He was losing on the scorecards, outboxed, outmaneuvered, and nearly out of time. Yet when the lights burned brightest, he found the one shot that changed everything, not once, but twice, against elite world-level opposition. Now, the path is clear. The next stop is the throne. Oleksandr Usyk stands in his way. But make no mistake, the man coming for him isn't a product of pedigree or privilege. He's built from raw ambition, self-belief, and pure destruction. This is the rise of Fabio Wardley, the most dangerous knockout artist in British boxing. Wardley's story begins far from the Olympic gyms and amateur circuits that shape most champions. Born in Ipswich, England, his early 20s weren't spent in boxing gyms, but in an office, grinding through recruitment calls, playing football on weekends, and lifting weights for fun. Boxing wasn't destiny, it was curiosity. At 20 years old, he laced up gloves for the first time, stepping into white-collar bouts, where everyday men tested themselves under harsh lights and borrowed courage. 4 fights later, something became clear. Wardley didn't just belong there. He was different. His timing, his power, his poise, it wasn't normal for a beginner. Guided by trainer Robert Hodgins and later managed by heavyweight contender Dillian Whyte, Wardley bypassed the amateur system entirely. No medals, no national titles. Just belief. Whyte saw potential, not polish, and took the young heavyweight under his wing. Wardley learned the hard way, through sparring wars, mistakes, and pain. Each fight was a lesson, each round a chapter in a book he was writing with his fists. His professional debut was raw but electric. The technique wasn't perfect, but the violence was undeniable. Every opponent folded, every critic went silent. The power spoke louder than the inexperience. By the time he faced Chris Healy, Wardley had started to find himself. Now under the watchful eye of elite trainer Ben Davison, his style evolved. The chaos turned calculated. His shots became precise, his defense tighter, and against Healy, everything clicked. The finish was emphatic, a controlled display of aggression that proved Fabio Wardley was no longer a prospect. He was a threat, but it was the fight with Nathan Gorman that truly transformed his career. Gorman was a polished boxer with deep amateur roots, a cousin of Tyson Fury, and a heavy favorite to expose Wardley's inexperience. The British heavyweight title was on the line, and the stage was set for the classic boxer versus brawler narrative. In the opening round, Gorman's jab found its mark, and a sharp combination drew blood from Wardley's nose. The purists nodded. The story seemed written, but that blood only fueled him. In round 2, Wardley bit down and fired back, dropping Gorman with a vicious right hand. The tempo shifted instantly. Gorman's technical edge crumbled under the pressure. In the 3rd round, another brutal exchange ended it. Wardley unleashed a barrage that forced the towel from Gorman's corner. In just 3 rounds, he had captured the British heavyweight title, proving that grit and power could conquer experience. Next came David Adeleye, a rival with talent, hype, and plenty of trash talk. Their feud boiled long before the bell, insults, shoves, and promises of violence. When it was time to fight, Wardley stayed calm while Adeleye lost control. The result was inevitable. By round 7, a right-hand left hook combination dropped Adeleye hard, forcing the referee's stoppage. Wardley didn't just defend his belt, he announced himself as the face of British heavyweight warfare. But the true test came against Frazer Clarke, an Olympic medalist and the darling of British boxing. Clarke had the pedigree, the polish, and the backing of the establishment. Wardley had the power. Their first fight was chaos and courage woven together. Clarke boxed beautifully, Wardley bled heavily, but refused to break. Through 12 brutal rounds, neither man gave an inch, and the result, a draw, left unfinished business in the air. The rematch erased all doubts. Wardley attacked from the opening bell, relentless and ferocious. He cut off the ring, targeted the body, and broke Clarke down piece by piece. In the middle rounds, he found his rhythm, and then the finish, a savage sequence that forced the referee to step in. It was over. Wardley had turned the rematch into redemption, closing the book with authority. Then came Justis Huni, the Australian prodigy, a technical master with an Olympic-level skill set and the composure of a champion. For 9 rounds, Huni boxed flawlessly. Wardley couldn't find him. Every jab from Huni snapped his head back. Every feint drew a reaction. The scorecards were one-sided, and the commentators were already calling it. But in round 10, Wardley landed the punch of his life, a short, compact right hand that detonated on Huni's jaw. In an instant, the fight flipped. Huni hit the canvas, stunned, broken, and beaten. Fabio Wardley had done it again, losing on points but winning by power. 4 months later, he stood across from Joseph Parker, a former world champion with victories over Deontay Wilder and Zhang Jilei. This was Wardley's biggest test yet, and his clearest shot at the world stage. Parker's experience showed early, outboxing Wardley through the mid-rounds, but the danger never disappeared. Then came the 11th. Wardley saw the opening, unleashed a furious barrage, and didn't stop until the referee pulled him away. Parker collapsed, and the arena exploded. Fabio Wardley, once a white-collar novice, had just knocked out a former world champion and earned a shot at the WBO world title. Now, the path leads to one man, Oleksandr Usyk, the master craftsman, the unified champion, the puzzle no one has solved. But if history tells us anything, it's this. Fabio Wardley doesn't care about the odds, the scorecards, or the experts. He was never supposed to make it this far. And yet every time they counted him out, he found a way to end it. He's coming. For Usyk. And when the bell rings, all that matters is 1 second, 1 punch, 1 chance to shock the world again. So what do you think? Can Fabio Wardley dethrone the master technician and become Britain's next heavyweight world champion? Drop your predictions below, hit like, and subscribe to Fight Story for more cinematic boxing documentaries and legendary fight breakdowns.